Hello, friend. My name is Dr. Marco Ojide. Thank you for connecting to this very important discussion on 10 habits that are capable of destroying love in any relationship. By the way, I want to start by saying that love is real and love is sustainable. Love is this feeling of strong attraction or emotional attachment to a person or maybe animal or thing. It is often built on three key pillars: respect, trust, and effort, or you call it action. So love revolves around respect, trust, and actions. However, certain poor habits, call it actions, could slowly destroy even the strongest love in any relationship. So I'll be discussing with us here some of these habits. The essence is to help you keep an eye on them to avoid these habits from destroying your relationship. The first is the lack of quality time together with your partner. You see, relationship is expensive. Okay? It is time consuming. And that is why it requires constant effort to sustain. Giving priority to other things, other people, work, above your partner can create this feeling of neglect and even make the person feel hurt. And that is why you need to be deliberate in devoting time to your partner. Call it a program. The way you book engagement, block a date, block a time that you give to your partner. All right. Number 2 is the issue of poor communication. Well, we keep improving on this. I know occasionally my wife will remind me, look, your communication is not good in this area. And that is why we keep improving all the time. Honest and open conversation is quite good. However, good communication has to do with active listening also. It includes active listening. If you listen actively, you will hear what the person is saying and what the person is not saying in trying to talk to you. Yeah, occasionally my wife will ask me, okay, what did I say last? Meanwhile, I responded. I say, oh, that kind of thing. I say, what did I say last? I say, I'm sorry, I didn't flow. Okay, so it's good you be very, very active in listening. Avoiding tough conversation or ignoring your partner's feeling could create that distance. It can create room for misunderstanding, for misinterpretation of even your sincere action. You may be doing something very sincere because you want to build this family. There was this case that it was a very bad case. Myself and my wife, we tried to handle this couple, but then things were already falling apart for them. And because things were falling apart, there was no communication. Sincere efforts were being misinterpreted. It was so bad. Like, for instance, one day, the lady told her minister, somewhere who prays for her, a woman, can you come with your husband? Let's talk together and pray. The young man refused to go. And the minister said, okay, can you bring any point of contact? Well, that's her faith. Bring any point of contact. So she took the picture of the husband. And so the minister prayed for them. And then as she was coming back, the husband saw his picture in her purse and shouted and said, wow, so you took my picture to a native doctor. Well, when we say native doctor, people could misunderstand it. To someone, to a witch doctor, yes, I think that's preferable. To a witch doctor to make sure they are bewitching my business. And so she was being accused of destroying the young man's business. Okay, and then on the other side, I know there was a day the young man went out to meet a business partner, and as he was coming back, the wife accused him of going to sleep out. And meanwhile, the young man was telling me in all honesty that he only was trying to build up this business again. So once there is poor communication, it can crash any relationship. So give time to communicating properly and be deliberate about it. Number 3 is holding grudges. Dwelling in your partner's past mistakes. If you're always dwelling on your partner's past mistakes, it can destroy love. Bringing up past mistakes instead of treating and forgiving and leaving them behind, and you're always bringing them up, nursing them, making sure they are growing. Someone has forgotten something for a very long time, you just reminded him or her, say, you remember that thing. This can dry up love. It can create this bitterness and resentment. Resentment, that's bitter feeling of having been treated unfairly. Grudges, I bet you, can dry up any ocean of love wherever it is found. And that is why you must strive never to hold grudges against your partner. If you are holding anyone now, discuss it. Bring it on the table and discuss at the right time, not at the wrong time. Otherwise, you may be getting the surprise of your life. Number 4 is lack of affection. Lack of expression of affection, or even poor expression of affection, can discourage a relationship. You see, love requires constant nurturing. It's like a garden you planted somewhere. You need to water it. You need to make sure it's irrigated so that these plants can grow continuously. So lack of affection or poor expression of affection can make someone in a relationship feel unappreciated, feel unloved, feel kept at a distance. And that can affect that relationship negatively. Number 5 is too much controlling. Love should be based on trust. And I tell young people, for marriage relationship, anybody you cannot trust, do not marry that person. Because the anchor that holds every relationship is trust. That person you are trying to marry, can you trust that person with your life? If not, please rethink that relationship. Okay? So being too controlling is a big issue that can crash any relationship or marriage. It is a clear sign of lack of trust. And when you begin to demonstrate lack of trust, you are also exposing that relationship to shipwreck. And to be frank with you, love, you don't demand for trust. You earn trust. Each person should earn trust and be deliberate in earning and maintaining that trust. When someone is too jealous, or too controlling of his or her partner, it can make the partner feel suffocating in that relationship. One young lady told me, look, I am in that family, but I'm suffocating. It was as though I can't breathe anymore. That was why I ran away from the house. She's been married for like with 2 children. But she left the family. She left the marriage, ran away with the children. I said, why? She said, I came to breathe. I came to receive fresh air. Please don't suffocate your partner with too much controlling. All right? It is a gradual destroyer of love. Number 6 is keeping your words. If you're not keeping your words, okay? Not keeping your word, not keeping your promise. Small lies can destroy trusts, and it can dry up love in the long run. So always strive to keep your promise as much as possible. And where it becomes difficult for you, explain to your partner early enough to make necessary adjustments. But if an expectation is created and suddenly at the point when the expectation is supposed to be made, you suddenly change the game, you are destroying that relationship. You are destroying your promise. Okay? And then number 7 is the issue of comparing your partner to others. If you're always comparing your partner to others, always pointing out your partner's mistakes, your partner's shortcomings, comparing it to what others are doing well, I bet you that can make your partner feel unloved and feel unworthy. And the person may do what I call voting by leg. The person will gradually begin to distance him or herself from you. And before you know what is happening, there will be no relationship to talk about. Okay? And then number 8 is lack of self-improvement. If you stop growing or stop making deliberate effort to grow that relationship at any point, your partner will feel disconnected, will feel unfulfilled in that relationship. So never you say, now I've married him or her, let me rest. No. Your marriage is only the beginning of continuous self-improvement. So if you're married or you're in a relationship, just tell yourself you are in a school for continuous self-improvement. Okay? And that is important to sustain that relationship. Number 9 is constant criticisms. Constant comparing, constant complaining or focusing mainly on your partner's mistakes or shortcomings can dry up love, can dry up joy in any relationship. A healthy relationship is largely all about accepting your partner with heart full of tolerance. Okay? Especially those of you who are very meticulous. If you don't develop this large heart it takes to maintain relationship, you will wreck your relationship with your own self, by your own self. So develop this large heart. That is what it takes for relationship. Able to accommodate. Understand that this person is not you. If there is need for improvement, it may come gradually. So allow room for improvement. Okay? It's important. And then number 10, which for me is the last one in this discussion, and is very, very important. Taking your partner for granted. Love, thrives on appreciation. So when you stop acknowledging your partner's effort, or you start taking him or her for granted, it slowly destroys the love between two of you. It's important to appreciate your partner, and it's in two ways. It should come from the male, it should come from the female, the husband and the wife. And that's why I love this picture here. Okay, this lady is willing to appreciate the husband, and then he's already, with something behind to surprise her too. It should be two ways. Appreciate your partner. Don't be the person receiving all the time. If you are receiving all the time, the other person one day will run dry. So it is something that you sharpen each other. Recently I traveled to somewhere, and then my wife gave me some packs of soup and stew to use. Almost every day I prepared food from this pack. I called her to say thank you for this wonderful, dish. Of course, she knows how to cook. But just beyond that, when you eat what somebody has prepared for you, just be sure that you are not just eating that food. You are eating what the person has put him or herself in preparing that food. A lot of calculation, a lot of time, with expectation that I hope my partner appreciates this. Sometimes my wife will say, you are not a very good person in terms of telling the real taste of food. Each time I ask you, how is this food? You say, it's fine. And then she finds it difficult. But the truth is that I cook very well, and I appreciate people who cook. That was her initial fear when we were getting married. I hope I can impress this young man with my cooking skills since he cooks. But good enough, when we got married, I discovered that she cooks 10 times better than me. So I appreciate her not just in cooking, every effort your partner makes. My wife is also very good in doing that. We've been appreciating each other for the past 15 years of marriage. And that is part of why our marriage has been so sweet. It has been so sweet by God's grace. Okay, so she knows how to appreciate any little effort I make. Occasionally I'll say, I'm doing this just to try to be like a nice husband. She will start calling me sweet names. And I bet you those names are so inspiring. Can I ask you, friend, as I summarize this discussion, when last did you sincerely appreciate or inspire your partner? Could you do something special for him or her as soon as possible? If that is the only takeaway you leave with from this video, I will appreciate that. Please don't procrastinate. Think of something. Think of a way. It's not all about money all the time. The gift of your time. The gift of your audience. You listen to the person. You appreciate the person. You appreciate what the person is passing through. Okay? Your word of appreciation can be so inspiring. It can heal any relationship. And so I'll be expecting your feedback. When you do something special for your partner in appreciation, please send me the feedback on the comment box here. And that will be appreciated. Thank you very much for giving audience to the discussion. By the way, this is myself and my darling wife. All right? Marriage is sweet and enjoyable. Thank you very much again for watching this. Please do subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. Thank you very much. You may feel free to share it with couples, and friends who need this discussion on habits that can destroy relationship. If I were you and I'm in a relationship for marriage, I will surely share this with my partner. Thank you and God bless you. Cheers.